So we're going to set the intention that the clip actually happens too. So there we are. And so today we're working with the idea of living intentionally. So as I was preparing this morning and I was going through different things to look at and to consider what I wanted to share with you this morning about living an intentional life, I came across a quote by Kristen Armstrong. Have no idea who she is, but it's a good quote. So she says, "We either live intentionally or we exist by default." Yeah, I will. I was like, that landed with you the way it landed with me when I first heard that too. So I was like, oh yeah, that is true. So we either live intentionally or we exist by default. Nods, yeah, okay. Yep, snaps, all right, yep. Right, because what she's really saying and what it is that we really believe and talk about here in Centers for Spiritual Living is that we have dominion over our lives, or another word that was presented this morning at the morning table was we have agency. Matt, Ace needs you, or something. Yeah, there you go. It is the first Sunday of the month, right? Okay. It has been a lot. Our system has been through a lot in the past 3 days, you're right. So we can either be at the effect of what's going on in our lives, or we can choose to step up and be present with what is going on, and we can choose to respond, or we can choose even more so than response, we can choose to be proactive. So we have the opportunity to be proactive, we have the opportunity to respond, or we have the opportunity just to react. So if we're living from a more unconscious place, an unintentional place, then we tend to get buffeted about all day long, right? We tend to live at the effect of whatever is happening to us. Something, we don't wake up and, like, my first thought getting out of bed in the morning isn't like, well, today I'm going to have a doo-doo kind of a day. Right? That's not what my first thought is. Or, my first thought is like, well, today I just, I'm going to go out there and wreak havoc, right? I mean, that's not the intention, right? That's not the intention, but how many of us wake up and even have an intention for our day? Do we even have an intention for the day, or are we just waking up as like, yawn and stretch, try to come to life, go and get a cup of coffee, right? It's like the 9 to 5 song. Stumble out of the bed and into the kitchen. Pour yourself a cup of ambition, right? And that's all the further you get for your day, right? Okay, I have my coffee. Let's go. And so then what happens during your day, right? It's like you're at the whim, you're at the mercy of whatever is like coming at you that day. Whether it's a car sideswiping you or cutting you off, whether it's somebody making you mad at work, who knows? But we end up being at the effect. But whereas if we were to wake up in the morning and set an intention for the day, have a clear idea of what it is that we would like to experience in the day, not just in our lives, but break it down to the day. This is the now moment that we have. We can break this down right to this now moment that I am going to live with this intention, and then bring it forth. Consciously bring it forth, because we have agency, we have dominion over our lives, we have the ability to choose what we focus our life about, what we choose to focus on. And not only do we have the ability to do that, we have the responsibility to do that. So that we are living as more awake and aware and conscious human beings, having this wonderful experience that we call life. We have that responsibility to ourselves and to each other. That's how we build a larger, better, more beautiful, beloved community, to live from a place of intention, conscious intention. Because intention moves energy. Intention shifts and directs energy. And so when you think about our thoughts, they give our life direction. And that direction, that our thoughts, our ideas, our intentions determine our direction, and our direction ultimately determines our destination. Yes? Right? So the opportunity that we have then is to come from a place of intention, of setting an intention, and doing that consciously. Because the conscious mind is more powerful than the subconscious mind. However, it is the subconscious mind that tends to run the show. So what is it that we want to place into that subconscious mind? What is it that we want to develop? Consciousness, right? We want to develop that. We want to place that high idea into the subconscious so that then that high idea, the intention itself, becomes the operating system. Because if we aren't setting the intention, then the operating system is just kind of like slogging along, right? It's not giving, we haven't really given it much direction. It's just kind of doing this and doing that. But if we focus our intention and our attention consciously, that is what we then begin to plant the seeds. We begin to focus on that. We set the intention. We place our attention on it. And the more we do that, the more that then supplants and becomes what's happening in our subconsciousness. It becomes our way of thought. It becomes our thought pattern. It becomes our thought atmosphere. And that then is what is then living our life. Or we're living, or if we're going to default to something, if we're going to exist by default, then we're existing by default to a higher intention. Yes? So how do we go about doing that? How do we go about making this shift in consciousness, if you will? First tip I have for you, start the night before. So before you go to bed, think about first, think about what it is that you want to intend for your life. What direction do you want to go? Is there something specific that you want to experience? Because we remain in this, spirit remains in this infinite potentiality until it has a mold in which to pour itself into. And then once it has a mold to pour itself into, then it is able to bring forth the demonstration, is able to bring forth the manifestation. So where is the mold? You're the mold. Your thoughts, your ideas, your beliefs, that is the mold combined that then allows spirit to pour itself in and bring forth the demonstration. So first I would say, figure out what it is that you want to set your intention for. It doesn't have to be big. In fact, small is good because it helps develop the muscle, right? So start small. It doesn't have to be like world domination, right? Or it could be. But I would start small. Start small. Start with today, or, I intend to have a loving day. I intend to have a peaceful day. Something, start small. I intend to pay my bills on time. Whatever is your intention, start there. Start in that place. And then begin planting the seed by doing that at night. And if you don't want to say it over and over, write it down and then you can just read it, right? Read your intention. Do it before you go to bed. That way it's beginning to plant it into your subconsciousness while you're in bed, while you're sleeping. Your mind is active. Did you know that? While you're sleeping, your mind's still active. Spirit's still speaking. Things are still going on. So why not plant that seed of intention then? and allow Spirit to do the work while you're asleep. And then when you wake up in the morning, first thing you do, one, express gratitude that you opened your eyes. Then two, set your intention for the day. And if that means that you have to go into the bathroom and sit there with your intention in front of you, that's okay too. Take that as your reading material rather than something else, right? Use your time wisely. But set the intention first thing in the morning, and then come back to that intention throughout the day. Keep bringing yourself back to the intention throughout the day. As you remember it, as you see it, bring yourself back to the intention, back to the intention, back to the intention. And if something should go a little hinky, and it's possible that something will go a little hinky, it's possible, it's in the realm of possibility, bring yourself back to the intention and come from that place of intention. So what intention is, what we're really doing here is we're establishing a habit. Intention is a habit. Intentional living, living intentionally, is a habit. It's a conscious choice that you're making at first to change a behavior, to change a way of showing up. Instead of living at the whims, to show up with intention. It's a habit. That's all it is. So I invite you this month to begin to form your habit of intentional living. Yes? So what happens if you live intentionally? What happens? All of a sudden, that dominion and that agency kick in. There's a sense of empowerment that happens. There is a sense of love and compassion and joy and peace and equanimity that begins to happen. And you're living from a more poised place. You're living from but you're also living from a place of infinite possibility, of curiosity, of being open and awake and aware to the everyday miracles, the everyday blessings, the outrageous blessings that are ever present, just waiting for you to see them and observe them. I was sharing in the morning table, it's kind of like if I tell you this week, go out and pay attention and count the number of yellow trucks you see this week. Count the number of yellow trucks you see this week, right? I guarantee you, because now you're thinking about a yellow truck, you're paying attention, you're going to look for a yellow truck, you're bringing your awareness to trying to see a yellow truck, that what's going to happen? You're going to see yellow trucks all over the place, right? Now, were the yellow trucks there? Yes, the yellow trucks have always been there. But where has your intention been, and where has your attention been? It's not been on the yellow truck. It's been on something else. So this is just a little easy, quick and easy exercise to even play with. I'm just counting the yellow trucks today, or this week. See how many there are. And so what we can do then is we can then begin to focus our intention and attention on something else. Moving beyond the yellow truck. Focus our intention and attention on that which we wish to see and that which we wish to experience in our lives. And the more we focus our intention and attention on that, what's going to happen? It's already there. It's already there. But now, with the intention and attention, we're able to see it more clearly. We're able to bring our awareness to it more clearly. We're living from a more intentional place. We're experiencing something much more grand and lovely than ever before. So you've got homework this week. Told you I was a former teacher, so there you go. Once a teacher, always a teacher. Teachers in the room know that, right? Once a teacher, always a teacher. So you have homework this week. You up to it? Yes. If need be, just start with the yellow truck. But I invite you to go beyond the yellow truck and set an intention for the week. Set an intention for the month and begin living from that place there. And so right now we have the opportunity to set intentions, and I invite our practitioners to come forward and form a line across the front of the platform here, in front of the platform. Be careful of the mic stands so that you don't trip and fall on those. And so we have the opportunity to move into a time of prayer, into what we are calling our prayer wall. Thank you. And so this is an opportunity for the community, for you, the congregation, you, our members, you, our family and friends, to come forward and receive prayer from one of our beloved prayer practitioners here, our licensed spiritual practitioners. When you do so, I invite you to come forward and stand in front of them and just simply state your name. I am, for example, I am Jeff. Today I choose to experience compassion. And then your practitioner will go into a brief moment of prayer for whatever it is you're choosing to experience today. So begin to think about your intention, what your intention might be. And then I invite you to go ahead and form a line here down the center of the room. Come on up, don't be scared. I know y'all want prayer because, I know this community. Y'all love to pray. There we go. And so what I'll do is I'll do the first two stages of treatment. I'll do the recognition and the unification. And then our practitioners will then start with realization, thanksgiving, and then release. All right, so here we go. I know that there is only one power and presence, one life. This one I call the universe, I call it God, I call it the all in all, I call it love, peace, joy, harmony, abundance. I call it order and harmony. And it goes by many names, and it does not matter what name we choose to give it, for truly it is the all in all, the one itself. Some choose to call it God. What I know is that it is benevolent and beneficent, that it brought forth all of creation in and as itself, of itself, through itself, that all life, all creation is the beloved made manifest. And so I know that the qualities of itself are the qualities of each one. The high idea of life itself. I know that this is the truth of me, that right where I am, the presence of the one is. I recognize that I am inseparable from it, that I am that I am. And so I allow this word to continue for each of these beloveds standing before me. With these beloveds, the practitioners, will allow the word to continue in prayer. Chester, I invite you forward. Patty, over here. And so I speak a word of blessing upon this community, upon all of the beloveds who make up this beloved community. I affirm and claim the words spoken here today, both spoken and spoken in our hearts, recognizing that truth is truth. I see the highest idea and the fulfillment of good in each life. I claim and affirm it to be so here and now. I also speak a word of blessing upon our leaders, our country, and our democracy. I trust and know that the ideas and the decisions that are made on Tuesday are done so from a place of deep wisdom, deep compassion, and deep love. That Tuesday is a day filled with peace and harmony, in a divine expression of the freedoms that we hold to be self-evident. And so I give thanks for that which is already unfolding here and now. I give thanks for the love that is present in this community and how it overflows into the community at large. For truly each one of us is the beloved community. Collectively, we are love made manifest. We are the power and the presence of love. And so I simply release this word into the law, knowing that it is done. I let it be, and so it is.